Hey everybody, it's Mike at Bee Rescue. Hi there. Hey, listen. Sometimes we get swarm calls, and they haven't. They've been hanging around a little longer than usual. Usually they move on pretty quickly, and so I thought I'd talk about this one. This little swarm has been here for a little over 30 hours, and the property owner was kind enough to call and avoid spraying them, and gave us a ring. Didn't really have anybody else I could dispatch it to, so I bolted and came out and got them. And one of the things that's interesting about this one, it was easy, a shake in a tree, a bush, right, a few feet off the ground. But one of the things that's interesting about it that you can see here is they've already started building wax. They just can't help it, right? They're ready to move into a new home and start building. Sometimes they do that out in the open. So what we're seeing here is an example of what we sometimes have to do to gather the remainder of the bees is shake them into a box. I shook them into a nuke box there, but sometimes we'll make a small clipping from a tree. I didn't quite take all of it. I just took the main one that the bees were lighting on, just a tiny little branch of the bush, and it has some wax on it and the queen pheromone, which is what draws them in. So that's how I kind of gather up some of the extra bees instead of letting them just kind of disperse on their own. So anyway, I'll give them another, 5 minutes or so and let them gather. I'll also use some old comb sometimes to get them to land on that as well. Makes it easier to move them into a nuke box. So that little branch and some of these bees will go into another nuke box, and we'll get them a new home. So they're cold, they're wet. Sometimes when they're cold and wet, they're a little irritable. So I went ahead and suited up pretty good for this one. But these girls have been pretty nice so far. So we'll get the rest of them, as many of them as we can, and then get them a new home, get them dried and warm, and see how they do. All right, take care, everybody.